Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to yet another Leverage Edu live session. I am Mahima Binder, and I am a head coach with the Leverage Edu team here. The topic that we'll be discussing today is embracing the various festivities abroad. Since the festive season of Diwali is just around the corner, I just wanted to take some time out and highlight the various festivals that are celebrated across the United Kingdom. So, before we dive right in, I just wanted to give you an insight of what we do at Leverage Edu here. We are India's most trusted university study abroad platform. If you are planning to study abroad and wish to start your international journey, feel free to reach out to us. We at Leverage Edu help you to reach your dream destination and dream university. If you are confused about how to apply, where to apply, when to apply, don't worry, we've got you covered. We at Leverage Edu guide you through your application process, help you with writing stellar SOPs, prepare you for interviews, help you with scholarships, accommodations, and a lot more. You can reach out to us at leverageedu.com and avail the benefits of our university admission services. Now, the topic for discussion today is festivities abroad. As I said, the festive season is around the corner. So let's leave the academics aside and let's soak into the festive spirit, right? So as a university student, you are exposed to a lot of festivals, Indian as well as non-Indian. So I just thought I'll take you around talking about the different Indian and non-Indian festivals that are celebrated in the United Kingdom. Having graduated from Warwick University myself, we celebrated a bunch of festivals starting from September. So I'll take you through a timeline of the festivals celebrated starting September onwards. All right. So starting off in September, this is not really a festival or a festive season, but it's usually the start of most of the universities in the UK. So I think it's a festival in itself because it's Freshers Week. It's the time for you to acquaint yourself with the university, acquaint yourself to the campus, make new friends, get to know more about the clubs and societies. At Warwick, as personally I'd say, the Freshers Week lasts for about a week. You have a bunch of different events, like you have foam parties, you have the sports fair, the volunteering fair, and the societies fair as well. So I think you should use this time out, explore, make new friends, meet new people. So one tip that I'd like to give you guys here is don't be intimidated by anyone. Okay, go out, reach out to people, talk to them. I think everyone is in the same boat as you are, just trying to make friends. So just have a good time doing these things, right? So once September has passed, we have the month of October. Now, October is the spooky season of Halloween. Okay, Halloween is something that is taken very seriously in the UK, but it's a relatively calmer event than what it is in the US. So Halloween is mainly the day of remembering the dead, and usually there are a lot of parties, a lot of Halloween parties that are hosted around town. You will usually see children going trick-or-treating, carrying a couple of candies, collecting candies from house to house, enjoying the festive spirit. Students and other individuals go to a lot of Halloween parties dressed up in their favorite costumes. Now, unlike the US, as I said, Halloween is a relatively calmer event in the UK because mainly because of one reason, that in the UK they celebrate something known as Bonfire Night, which is celebrated with more pomp. I'll tell you more about Bonfire Night through the course of this webinar. So apart from Halloween, the other Indian festival that is celebrated in the UK is Navratri, which is the celebration of the 9 nights. So there are Dandiya nights held across different cities in the UK. Like you have Dandiya nights in Birmingham, you have Dandiya nights in Manchester, right? Usually Indian societies at universities host these Dandiya nights. I think this is a great opportunity for you as Indian students to acquaint your non-Indian friends with the Indian culture and some yummy Indian food. Again, in the month of between end October and around December, end October and November, this is the festive season of Diwali. Diwali is the festival of lights. And since UK has a lot of Indians, this festival is celebrated with utmost joy. Okay, you'll see a lot of Diwali lights hanging outside people's houses. A lot of Indian families host Diwali dinners and use this opportunity to meet with their friends and families. At university, Diwali parties are hosted with a lot of Bollywood music and Indian food. Universities also host karaoke and card parties as well for students. So at this point in time, right, students get a lot of homesick. Students get really homesick because they're living away from home. So use this time to go out, enjoy Diwali with your with your friends who have eventually turned into your family. The Warwick Indian Society, I'd say, hosts an annual Diwali event known as the Mehfil. It's a cheerful event with a lot of food, music, and dance. Moving on to the month of November. November has a lot of festivals, a lot of festivals that are hosted. First of all, on 5th of November, we have the Bonfire Night. Okay, this is one of the most important celebrations across the UK. It's mainly an annual commemoration. It's also known as the Guy Fawkes Night, celebrated with bonfire and a lot of fireworks. It's associated with the tradition of celebrating Guy Fawkes's failed attempt of blowing up the House of Parliament on the 5th of November in 1605. So there are a number of traditions that are celebrated with which are associated to Bonfire Night. All across the UK, there are various bonfires and firework displays, usually between the 5th and the 7th of November. So I'd say that the best places for you to see the fireworks are the Fireworks Spectacular at the Leeds Castle and at Birmingham, the Lewes Bonfire Celebrations in East Sussex, and the Skinning Grove Bonfire in Yorkshire. Okay, moving on to the end of December, moving on to the end of November, we have on the 26th of November and on the 29th of November, we have the two most important shopping day sales. The first one is Black Friday sale and the second one is the Cyber Monday sale. These are the two major shopping days of the holiday season. It officially kickstarts the holiday season. So Black Friday is a great time for you to go out shopping, where most brands have lightning sales and lightning deals for you to pick. So due to the COVID pandemic, obviously Black Friday sales are available online as well as offline. Moving on, Black Friday, as I said, is followed by Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday has crazy online deals for you to pick right on Amazon, Walmart, etc. Cyber Monday is your last chance to bag a bargain before Christmas. Lastly, the last event of November is St. Andrew's Day. It's mainly a Scottish festival. It's Scotland's official national day, and it's a bank holiday as well. St. Andrew's Day is marked with a celebration of the Scottish culture, wherein there is a lot of traditional Scottish music, dance, and food. Okay, moving on to the month of December. December and Christmas time is one of the most awaited festivals of the year in the United Kingdom. I would say that the Christmas lights are already up by the end of November, kicking the spirit of Christmas. So the best Christmas lights can be witnessed at these particular places in London. First is Carnaby Street, second is Oxford Street, third is Regent Street, fourth is the Natural History Museum, and fifth is Kew Gardens. Christmas Day, I would say, is a major festival. For England especially, Christmas is a time where friends and families come together wherever they might be. Each family has their own Christmas traditions. Usually they meet up for a Christmas dinner. Each family, as I said, having their own traditions. It's an important decision for them to decide who is going to host the Christmas dinner each year. The usual Christmas dinner that is hosted is mainly a roast dinner. So the dinner usually features a huge roast turkey with vegetables, followed by a Christmas pudding, and then followed by some yummy Christmas cake. Apart from this, the Christmas markets are also increasingly popular during Christmas. So Christmas markets have a variety of pop-ups with different kinds of items, foods and drinks, especially hot chocolate and mulled wine. You can find Christmas markets all around London. I would say that the Winter Wonderland is one of the biggest Christmas markets. It's an annual event that is held from mid-November to early January at Hyde Park. Having been to Winter Wonderland myself, I can without a doubt say that it's one of the most best and the most amazing festivals to be at. I would say it features a wide range of entertainment for you, right from ice skating to circuses and a lot more. There are a number of Christmas markets all around Britain. Until last year, due to COVID, these Christmas markets were not operational, but this year it's back again, and I would urge all of y'all going to the UK around this time to visit at least one of these Christmas markets. Some of the best ones that I visited myself are the Christmas by the River, which is near the London Bridge. Second one is Winter Wonderland. Third is the Birmingham Frankfurt Christmas Market. Fourth is the Manchester Christmas Market. And the fifth is the Borough Christmas Market in central London. Moving on, post Christmas Day, we have something known as Boxing Day. Boxing Day is the day immediately after Christmas. It's again a bank holiday in the UK. There are a few theories as to why Boxing Day is called what it is, but no one is completely sure of it. So the two theories that the two arguments that follow are: firstly, in Britain, Christmas box is mainly a Christmas present. So a Boxing Day was a day off for all the servants, and they received a Christmas box from their master. So Boxing Day could have been named after this, wherein the employer or the master gives the box of money or gifts to the servant. Second theory is that it is a box that was kept in the church on Christmas Day, and all the money that was collected would be distributed to the poor on the next day. So Boxing Day could have also been named after this custom. Nobody knows, nobody is sure. But today there are no traditional customs related to Boxing Day. Most of the day of Boxing Day, families spend with each other, eating leftover Christmas food, going out for a walk, visiting friends and family. Also, Boxing Day sales are very important in the UK. There are slashing sales on different brands all across. Lastly, in December, it's 31st December and 1st January. As we all know, it's the New Year, and like many other countries in the world, UK also celebrates New Year with utmost joy. On this day, usually you will see families, friends, students hosting parties with friends and family. In Scotland, it's mainly known as Hogmanay. Usually it is celebrated with a lot of pomp and joy, and London is also known for its fireworks. So if you are going to London during New Year's, make sure to go see the fireworks and don't miss it, because it's totally worth it. All right, now in the month of February comes the Chinese New Year. Now, the UK has a large Asian population, and therefore Chinese New Year is celebrated again. In London, there is a parade that goes through Chinatown with fireworks, music and dance, and acrobatics. There are other different activities on the day of Chinese New Year. You'll usually find a lot of foodie treats in Chinatown. Leicester Square will offer family-friendly entertainment, and Trafalgar Square has a lot of stage performances which you do not want to miss. Post February, in March, again, it's the Indian festival of Holi. It's that time of the year again. It's the festival of colors. Many university campuses again have a massive Holi celebration. It's a festival that Indians and non-Indians both will enjoy. Again, as I said, you can acquaint your non-Indian friends to this Indian festival. And if you are missing home again, Holi is the best time for you to enjoy and go to. You can celebrate it with your friends who have turned into family now. You can enjoy some good Bollywood music, some Indian food, and some organic colors. Then in March, we have something known as St. Patrick's Day on the 17th of March after Holi. It is mainly an Irish festival celebrated with a lot of parades, special music, drinking, and there's a whole lot of green over there. So after March, in April, again, this is a very important time for England. It is the Easter celebration. Easter is one of the most important celebrations in the UK. A lot of people celebrate Easter with church service, ringing of the church bells, and some candlelight. Food, I would say, is again the most important part of the Easter celebration. The Easter lunch. The most traditional dish is the roast lamb, which is often followed by a simnel cake and a lot of chocolate eggs. Tables will always be filled with flowers such as daffodils, white lilies, and tulips. Children also enjoy a lot of Easter egg decoration, followed by an Easter egg hunt. Apart from these festivals I mentioned, there are a few other festivals like St. George's Day, Mother's Day, the Queen's birthday, the Edinburgh Festival, which are celebrated again with a lot of joy. Do let me know in the comments which one is your favorite festival, or which is the festival that you are looking forward to being a part of. And yes, do let me know about it. And hope you all found this session insightful. I will be back next week with some fun and more informative content for you. Stay tuned and have a lovely Sunday, guys.